First, with a quick little bio, Sheikh Abdeljalil is the Imam of the Islamic Center of San Diego, California. He is known as a prolific and dynamic speaker, dedicating himself as a tireless supporter of the Islamic cause. Sheikh Abdeljalil is known amongst Muslims in North America as a passionate supporter and speaker with Islamic Relief, Mass, and many other Islamic organizations. He is known for his active dedication towards the Muslim youth of America. Let's please all welcome Sheikh Abdeljalil.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
I don't know why the room is dark because of Black Friday. Friday is over. I can see nobody, so please if you can have some lights. Huh?
نور الإيمان.
نور الإيمان.
نور الإيمان school.
MashaAllah, from Sheikh Jibreel, MashaAllah. So, the topic that we are going to cover tonight is this successful journey of knowledge and so on. But subhanAllah, Dr. Abu Talib, he should cover the first one. The importance of knowledge. And my talk is about the second element in the process, which is the scholar or the sheikh or the mentor. But before I start, really I want to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reward the brothers and sisters that they've been working hard for many months to make this event happen. May Allah reward them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless them. Say Ameen. So they are working long hours and we come at the end and we enjoy it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward them. And number two, I hope, mashallah, what we took last year and the message of the convention, we work on it, and now we are coming to take something else, inshallah. As I said many times, we are here to inspire. Convention is not about teaching, but conventions is about inspiring one another. And we go at home and we implement what we learn. And we take that journey, then next year when we come back, inshallah, say Ameen, we take something else. And number three, before the lecture, what we are saying, the good things that we say every night for these 3 days or every morning, it happens locally at your community with Mass. So please join them, you're going to benefit a lot. And our slogan is what? Mass
لكل الناس.
لكل الناس. Let's repeat that. Mass لكل الناس.
Mass لكل الناس.
Some people said no. That's okay. Mass is for everybody, inshallah. And you really can learn a lot and you can benefit and you can explore your potential, inshallah. So let's go back about the topic, which is the Shaykh. My brothers and sisters, the Prophet ﷺ mentioned it very clear that the knowledge is there. And the knowledge will not be taken from this earth. And the amount of knowledge that we have in our time, it never happened in the history of humanity, except in the times of the prophets and messengers. We have, what I'm gonna say, knowledge everywhere. But the Prophet ﷺ made it clear that if the scholars are not there, this knowledge has no value. The Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَنْزِعُ الْعِلْمَ انْتِزَاعًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not take knowledge from earth. The knowledge will stay there. But how knowledge will be taken and it's not there, even though if it exists? By the death of scholars. إن الله لا ينزع العلم انتزاعا ولكن بموت العلماء. So if there is no more scholars, what happened? اتخذ الناس رؤوسا جهالا. So the leaders, the scholars become the ignorant. Because we know the nature doesn't accept vacuum. Somebody has to fill that vacuum. So there is no more scholars. So the ignorant will take that place and will assume that place. And what will happen? They will be misled themselves and mislead others. And now you can understand why the Muslims make a big deal if one scholar passed away. And in the last year or two, a lot of scholars passed away, especially here in America. May Allah help us, say Ameen. And may Allah extend the life of those who exist. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to produce scholars, because this is how knowledge will be maintained. And the Quran was very clear. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the best book, and this book is easy, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. We have made the Quran easy for remembrance and so on. Yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the teacher with the book. Quran by itself, if you don't have the teacher to teach you and to guide you, you can be misled. And it happened in the time of the companions. And these are people that they are very eloquent in the language and they master the Arabic language. But they need the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I will give you example. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the verses in Surah Al-Baqarah about fasting, وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَكُمُ الْخَيْطُ الْأَبْيَضُ مِنَ الْخَيْطِ الْأَسْوَدِ مِنَ الْفَجْرِ ثُمَّ أَتِمُّوا الصِّيَامَ إِلَى اللَّيْلِ. So one of the companions, what he did, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said fast, وَكُلُوا حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَكُمُ الْخَيْطُ الْأَبْيَضُ مِنَ الْخَيْطِ الْأَسْوَدِ مِنَ الْفَجْرِ. So you can eat in suhoor until you start seeing the white thread from the black thread. One of the companions, what he did, he took two threads, literally, one black and one white, and he put them under his pillow, and he was sleeping. At night, he removed the pillow. Can he see the difference? No. Then he go to sleep. So after that, the Prophet explained to him, he said, it's not about that. The al-khayt here is in the horizon and in the sky and so on. These are companions. And one time when the verse was revealed from Surah Al-An'am, الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَلَمْ يَلْبِسُوا إِيمَانَهُمْ بِظُلْمٍ أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمُ الْأَمْنُ وَهُمْ مُهْتَدُونَ. Those who believe and they never commit a dhulm, those people, they will be saved and they will be successful. The Sahaba start crying, the companions. The Prophet, he asked them why. He said, Ya Rasulullah, this verse is so hard on us. It says that the path to paradise and success, that you should not commit dhulm. Then the Prophet starts smiling. And he said, dhulm here means is shirk. And he took them back to Surah Luqman, when Luqman was advising his son, and he said, Ya bunayya la tushrik billah, inna shirka la dhulmun azim. So these are the companions, and look what happened to them. And there are many examples. So what about our time? And that's why Imam al-Ghazali said, Man kana al-kitabu shaykhuhu. Whosoever the book of knowledge is yours, is his shaykh. You just take the book, and mashallah. Imam al-Ghazali, not the contemporary one who just passed away, the other one, Abu Hamid. He said, Man kana al-kitabu shaykhuhu, fa-shaytanu shaykhuhu. Shaitan will be your shaykh, because you will be misled, and you will understand things in the wrong way. One brother, some of you may have heard this from me before, during Ramadan, whenever he wants to break his fast, everybody having dates or water. That's how you break your fast. This is the sunnah. Except this brother, always he has to have 2 chicken. MashaAllah. So one time people ask their brother every day 2 chicken, MashaAllah. That is a lot of protein. You don't need too much. He said, this is the sunnah. Allahu Akbar. So everybody said, brother, where is this sunnah that the only one that you know? Nobody knows about it. He said, yes. And he brought the book of hadith. And you know, at that time, there is no dots, there is no marks. And there is hadith. But the problem, the brother, he doesn't know how to read the hadith. The hadith says, لِلصَّائِمِ فَرْحَتَانِ. For the fasting person, there is two joys. One when he breaks his fast, and one when the brother here reads it, لِلصَّائِمِ فَرْحَتَانِ. And these are the people, if you talk to them, you say, I'm scholar also. So, and that's why you see now, and you heard this maybe from me, from others, sometimes this extremism that happened in Islam, where people are doing things that is against Islam, regardless of what might be the reason, they have one thing in common. Listen to this. They have one thing in common. What these things in common? They don't have scholars among them. There is no scholars. I challenge these groups to tell me one scholar. But these people, they have libraries that contain thousands of books. But this is not enough. You need the scholar to guide you. And by the way, does not apply only to Islam or Sharia. It applies to any field. You have to have a mentor. You have to have somebody who can guide you. And especially in Sharia, because it's very dangerous. One time, one brother, he called me. He said, Sheikh, I'm calling you just to see if I give the right fatwa. I said, why did you give fatwa in the first place? I said, okay, what's the issue? He said, one brother, he got drunk. And he asked this, what's so-called mufti. He said, now what I need to do? I got drunk. He said, you should not pray for 40 days. Drinking plus not praying. And when I told him what? He said, Salaam alaikum, Sheikh. Now where is the problem here? Where is the problem? It's not the fatwa itself, even though it's a disaster. Imagine that person will say it to another one. And somebody will say it to another one, somebody will say it to another one. That's why scholars said, if you are asked, then you don't know the answer, you say no. Because no is half of the knowledge. Why? Because if I say to somebody, I don't know, he's gonna go and look for the answer. But if I give him the wrong answer, he's gonna hurt himself and hurt others. That's why the primary job of the Prophet ﷺ is what? هو الذي بعث في الأميين رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياته. Number one job is to recite the Quran to people. ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة, and he teach them the book and the hikmah. Hikmah means sunnah. ويزكيهم, and he purified them. Look, the Prophet ﷺ, he was teaching them, explaining the books, explaining things that people may not be aware of. And these, I'm telling you, these are the companions, that they are the masters of the Arabic language. But it's not enough. You need the teacher. And before I continue, there is one incident that tells you sometimes when you read a book. That's why many people, they are accusing some scholars. Oh, their books, it leads to extremism and so on. I say that's not true. But the problem is that these books are like medicine. And always what you find in the labels of every medicine at the end, after telling you everything, what to do, not what to do, and so on, what do you find at the end? Keep out from the reach of children. So now, if a child took that medicine and he was harmed, is the problem with the medicine? No. That's what happened to some people. Like now Ibn Taymiyyah being accused, Ibn al-Qayyim or XYZ. These are great scholars. And I don't believe somebody can claim he has the knowledge to understand Islam without reading their books. Great people. But if somebody is not ready, he's not scholar, he just take them, he might end up doing all this nonsense that you are having. So let me tell you this story that happened in Washington, D.C. One person, he went over there for vacation. And you know, among the things that you go to see when you are in Washington, D.C. is what? The Congress Library. So he went over there. While he was looking here and there, he fainted. Pass out. So they took him to the emergency room. The doctor checked on him, everything looks good. And he wakes up. And the doctor was smart. He told him, what are you doing? Where were you? I said, I came here for vacation and so on. I was in the library. What you were reading? Look, smart question. And the man, he was reading the symptoms of diseases. You know, some books that tells you this. So the brother ended up having everything. Cancer, diabetes, and blood pressure. And he fainted. So the doctor, he wrote a prescription, he said, go take this and you will be fine. So he went to the pharmacy, he said, we don't have this, go to the grocery store. Milk and crackers. I'm trying to bring it, but this is very serious, my brothers and sisters, that we need to take this very serious, and especially with our children. That we tell them, be careful from where you take the knowledge and so on. So after this introduction, what are the points that I want to share with you? And number one, my brothers and sisters, that the sheikh or the mentor, or whatever you want to call him or her, they take you into steps. And number one, before they give you the knowledge, they give you the adab, the etiquette. You will not find the adab in the books. The books cannot do that to you. And I still remember when we were young and with our sheikh and so on, the first thing, before you get anything, you have to carry his shoes and follow him. So teach you humbleness, you break that egos. And more things and more, how to ask, when to ask. And this and that, subhanAllah, for years. And he's watching you. Are you going to handle that or not? Are you going to be patient or not? So when you pass that, then he start giving you step by step. It's like building your house. What you need now. Most of us want to go, no, he said that's basically. How to read even the Quran. And make the proper tajweed and so on. Start with you with small things. As Ibn al-Abbas, when he explained al-Rabbaniyun, وَلَكِنْ كُونُوا رَبَّانِيِّين, he said al-Rabbani, الَّذِي يُعَلِّمُ النَّاسَ بِصِغَارِ الْعِلْمِ قَبْلَ كِبَارِهِ. Al-Rabbani is the one who teach people knowledge. What does mean صِغَارُ الْعِلْمِ here? It's not the little thing, no. صِغَارُ الْعِلْمِ mean here, the fundamentals and the principles. Before he teach them the differences among the scholars. He will teach them the principles and the fundamentals, so you have that foundation. Subhanallah. He will teach you to respect others. There are other opinions. Now if I ask you, my brothers and sisters, what is the difference between a scholar and an ignorant person? One thing. That's the only difference between the two. The scholar, he knows how much he doesn't know. That's why when you are a scholar, always he think about it, said, let me think about it, come back tomorrow, let me see it. The ignorant, he thinks he knows everything. And he answered, yeah, go on. Yeah. Well, that's halal. And sometimes they do with their hand like this, like they are weighing it. That's makruh. No. So, Al-Rabbani, and he teach you on that. And he supervise you. Our Sheikh one time, he told us very interesting story. and almost 20 years or more. He said, mashallah, I was excited. And my sheikh, he said, you go and give the khutbah. So I gave the khutbah and I was so happy and excited. And I said, among what I said, you know this issue? Unanimously agreed on it. MashaAllah, and people got excited. So he said, when I finished the khutbah, everybody was happy with me, hugging me. Suddenly somebody hit me on the head. Of course, not in America, somewhere else. Then I told it was my sheikh. And I said, Sheikh, what? He said, did you read the opinions of all the scholars to say unanimously agreed? He said, no. So how dare you to say it? And next time say the majority. He said, wallahi, for the next 2 years I never said ijma'. Nothing. Look, subhanallah, Sheikh is behind you to teach you, supervise you, and so on. Another story that affected me a lot is in the time of Abbasi. And you know, the Khalifa, he doesn't have time to raise his children. They are scholars, those people, these Khalifas. He used to assign a scholar to teach and give tarbiyah and so on. He said, the first day, the son of the Khalifa is speaking. I sit with my sheikh, great scholar. The first thing he did to me, after talking for a little bit, he slapped me on the face. Don't do that, please. Especially in America, you will be in trouble. And I didn't say anything. And he said, time passed by. My father passed away, I became the Khalifa. Then I called upon my sheikh one time. And I said, I have the respect for him, everything, every time. Then I said, my sheikh, you remember many years, many years, when I was with you the first time and you slapped me on the face? He said, yes. He said, why you did it? I didn't do anything. Then the sheikh, he told him how it feels. When I slapped you, how it felt. He said, I felt hurt. And I said, this is injustice. That's not fair. He said, I know, because you will not become a Khalifa and I don't want you to oppress people or be unjust to them. Because if I didn't do that, you will never feel it. You will never feel what does mean injustice. What does mean to oppress people. Now you get the lesson, don't do it. That's why Imam al-Ghazali said, if you are lucky, if Allah wants good to you, He will give you the chance and the opportunity to be with a sheikh or a scholar or murshid to teach you. He said, if you find him or her, that's your greatest gift in life. He said to him, what? This is your greatest gift in life. Because they're going to give you the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. مَنْ يُرِدْ بِهِ اللَّهُ خَيْرًا إيش? يُفَقِّهُ فِي الدِّينِ. If Allah intends good for you, He will give you the proper understanding of the deen. And you are not going to get that except through scholars. That's why this knowledge has been inherited to us from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, of course from Allah, to Jibreel, to the Prophet. The teacher of the Prophet is Jibreel, علمه شديد القوة, and he used to teach him everything. And the Prophet was the best student. And the Prophet gave it to the companions give it to Tabi'een, and Tabi'in give it to so on until we're rich. Sometimes you sit with some scholars, mashallah, they have this sanad. And tell you, my sheikh, my sheikh, my sheikh, my sheikh. Now if you ask people, where did you get this fatwa? Sheikh Google. Now Sheikh Google become the sheikh. And you don't know what's there, what's going on. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, out of His mercy, my brothers and sisters, He will leave scholars everywhere. هذا من إقامة الحجة على الناس, to establish evidence against people. Always. That's why, alhamdulillah, we have people here in this country, because I'm against imported fatwa. The person, how much he has the knowledge of the Sharia, if he doesn't have the knowledge of the reality, it's not going to benefit you. It's not. That's why, subhanAllah, a great scholar we used to, I still remember, have one incident with Dr. Salah Sultan, may Allah free him, say Ameen. When he came, I met with him, mashallah, great Sheikh and scholar. And he said, give me an advice. I said, Sheikh, my advice to you, you are great in Sharia. For 3 years, don't give fatwa. Because you don't know the reality yet. Because if you don't know the reality, you're going to give the fatwa today, change it tomorrow. Change it after tomorrow, people they start questioning your knowledge. Once you master the reality, what's going on and so on, how it works and this and that, then you are more than qualified to give the fatwa. So we need people here. And we want to promote the people who are smart. In the Muslim country, who used to go to study Sharia, you know who? The one that their score is gonna take them to medicine or engineering. Where are you going? To Sharia. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Nahna, we want the smart and the brilliant people to go for Sharia. That this society and community of the Muslim find the people and the true scholars. They have the Sharia, they know the reality, and they have the language. That they can convey the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to people. And I believe that we should promote that and encourage people. And that's why maybe if we're going to learn something from the election that happened and the outcome of the election, what is our problem as Muslim? In this area many, but I want to say one thing. All of us who are pushing our children to be either what? Doctors or, just say it. You are doing it to your children, just say it. Confess. Or engineers. Sometimes when the child objects, you don't want to be a doctor, be an engineer. No, I don't want to be an engineer, be a doctor. But these two, they make a lot of money, but they are serving the system. The area that we don't want, it makes the system. And if you serve the system, you're going to serve the system. But somebody is making the system. I was in the Bay Area last week, and I know some engineers, they are very young, they are making more than Obama. How much Obama is making anyway? Huh? 400,000. I know some of these young people, they are making more. May Allah give them more, say Ameen. But who's the most influential? The one who's making 400. So Sharia is one of the areas that can make the system. And people, they're gonna come back to that. So when you have the right people that we need to promote as community and invest, every community should take 2 or 3 and send them or do any kind of program and say, we want to invest in you for the next 10 years and come back to us. So this concept of the mentorship or the murshid or the guide is crucial. And we have another way, as I said, which is through the tarbiyah. And I was told what are some of the qualities of this scholar and so on. They are very simple. They are very simple. And number one is the humbleness and sincerity. Humbleness is a key for a scholar. If you want to know a true scholar, he is humble. Because the more knowledge he has, the more humbleness he becomes. Sincerity. Whatever he does is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As Abu Huraira one time said, he went outside and he told people, what are you doing here? And the wealth of the Prophet ﷺ is being distributed. So people, they hear about the wealth, they run away, they think money. So when they went to the masjid, there is no wealth. They came to Abu Hurairah and said, where is the wealth? They said, the wealth of the Prophet is knowledge. So the scholars, they have to know that they have the wealth of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Al-ulama warathatul anbiya. So what they are doing is more than this life, what it contains. And number 3, as I said, to take people gradually. And number 4, to help them to grow. And don't be jealous if your student become better than you or whatever, because that is your sadaqah jariyah. Abdul Qadir al-Jilani, he used to say, my breakfast, my lunch, my dinner, if I see somebody being produced through me. Because whatever this person is doing, it goes to you. That is your sadaqah jariyah. Somebody that he has, they sacrifice and help the student. Subhanallah, Abu Hanifa used to take care of the students, especially those who don't have the money, and said, come here and take care of them and so on from their pocket. So this, I'm done? 2 minutes? MashaAllah, that's it, Black Friday. So, as I said, subhanAllah, because my dear brother, Dr. Abu Talib, was a little bit late, because he was supposed to be the first to talk about the importance of knowledge, then come how to do that. But it's okay, inshallah. Now you get the element which is a sheikh. Without a sheikh, be careful. After you have the basics, and mashallah, you have the foundation and you have this, then you can start benefiting from the books and read on your own and so on. But you need that guide. As I said, the easy book and the best book is the Quran. Allah sent with it the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah increase us in knowledge, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless this convention, say Ameen, and may Allah take us back, inshallah, very inspired, and may Allah protect Mass, because Mass, I want it loud. Mass, for everybody, so no exception. Just come, please. Next time we want to see double number, and may Allah bless you, and may Allah protect you, and may Allah reward you, and may Allah make the outcome of this election for our best interest and the interest of our nation. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much for reminding us of the importance of our scholars.